Hey gang, we are back with another great CPA purpose story for you this week. I'm Bill Sheridan with the Maryland Association of CPAs. Still looking for that elusive why behind the work that CPAs do. And this week, my guest is Jason Blumer. Excited about this one. Jason's an old friend. He's CEO of Blumer and Associates based in Greenville, South Carolina, not far from where he was born and raised. In fact, a Southern boy at heart is how he describes himself. He's also the founder of Thrival, which is a community of what they call countercultural firm owners who share insights into how to feed their entrepreneurial creativity, so to speak. So he's well known throughout the profession as one of the most future focused CPAs you're likely to meet. He's never really wanted to do the same old, always looking for new kind of future focused ways of running a firm and being a CPA. And along the way, he's ruffled more than a few feathers, caused a few problems here and there. But along the way, he and his team have created really a structured, ordered, and yet still creative company that looks like a real entrepreneurship. And at the same time, he's building a blueprint really for how firm owners might want to build future ready organizations of their own that can withstand the challenges that we're facing these days. And Lord knows we're facing a lot of those. And Jason's purpose, he says he found his purpose over time. It didn't come, all at once. And for the record, he says his purpose is moving his team forward in their careers. That's really what he's passionate about these days. But the greater point is it's this idea of finding your passion over time. It's not some light from the heavens that hits you all at once. Your passion is really the result of years of work, right? Of success and failures and lessons learned. And through all of that, you eventually figured out, oh, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? So really great conversation this week. Great to catch up with Jason once again. Here is Jason Blumer with his CPA story.
Well, a lot of people have heard my story. I was I was in rock bands, Bill. You and I've talked a lot about music. We both are music lovers. So
Yeah, yeah.
um that old rock, the classic stuff, we
Uh-huh.
love so much. And I was in bands playing that stuff. And I got 2 years through college. I'm like, I gotta pick something. And my dad was an accountant, so I picked that. And so I don't have a great, being drawn to the profession story, but I will say it is a well-rounded profession so that anybody can come into it, engineer minded or creative minded. Especially if you run your own firm, this is just such a creative work you have to do every day. It's got a lot of technical stuff in it too, but a lot of creative things that go into running a firm. So it worked out beautifully because I get to write and teach a lot now.
Yeah, you've done a lot of that throughout your career. I mean, what
Hmm.
was it? Like once you started down that path, um, what did you remember a point where it kind of clicked and you were like, wow, this makes a lot of sense to me. This is where I belong, or what was it?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm one to kind of lean into something and just keep going that direction. And so when I
Mhm.
did to get into accounting, it did make a lot of sense. It's a profession that makes a lot of sense. I know people outside the profession go, oh, that's technical and it's numbers. But we accountants know it's just a very ordered system. There's a lot of order to accounting. And that really appealed to me. Even now, I'm ADD, ADHD, or whatever, self-diagnosed. Some diagnosed by some of my clients are like, you want to probably check into that, Jason. Um, but I have so much order around my calendar. We teach, calendaring methodologies that a lot of people follow. And that order really just makes my life really hum, really
Mhm.
work. And so the order around accounting was really appealing to me, and it still is.
What do you, tell me a little bit about, if we could take a brief tangent here but
Hmm.
your path to where you are now. I know you've been running a firm for as long as I've known you, but how'd your career get rolling? What
Yeah.
led you here?
Yep. So I I did the private route for a little bit, controllership, early in my career. Um, and that's where you learn a lot of chops because a controller inside a private company is just going to do everything. You just have to deal with everything that's thrown at you. You don't
Yeah.
have a choice, and a lot of times you're taking out the garbage too. So
Right.
so that really helped. And then I got into a public firm in '98, and then I was able to start selling some things that it was a specialty type tax credit audit that I found out was in the state law, that they wrote into the state law that CPAs have to, assert this certain level of payroll report so you can get the credit. And I found that out and started calling people. And the selling part was crazy, right? Because now I was in a public firm and you were serving the public,
Hmm.
and they come ask you for stuff. You have to present value to them. And so I really started to love the selling. It's like, wait, I can like double the price of this thing and you'll pay more than the last person paid. Like that blew my mind. That blew
Uh-huh.
my mind. And so I really started playing around with that. And so really since '98 until now, that's the love of the public accounting. It's like facing a market, facing these people, these clients, and they'll pay whatever. You just have to present the value. And so we work hard in our firm on creating more and more value, more specialty services, more defined services. And there's so much power in that. And that kind of creative part of this work is what I love. And so I was in another firm in '98, and then 2003 came and started leading a firm with my dad,
Okay.
and he was more of the accountant type. And so I got to go through transforming a firm from, a brick and mortar old school firm is just very traditional, accounting, bill by the hour, taxes, just head down, grinding, stuff like that. And I got to change it and turn it around. And ran into so many problems. I called so many problems, didn't know what I was doing. But that process, especially with my partner Julie over the past 10 years, have really learned how to create an ordered structure company, super creative, that can, depict value, creating new services, which we do every year. And I fall in love with that kind of stuff. That's kind of more the entrepreneurship side. And
Did
and that's a lot of what I teach is entrepreneurship for firm owners.
Yeah, which is it's an interesting way of looking at it. And I mean, you were, in a lot of ways ahead of the curve in this profession in terms of what you do and how you ran a firm. And boy, I could tell you stories of folks who, yeah, without you in the room talking about what the hell is Jason Blummer doing over there?
Well,
And
probably when they said that, I probably didn't exactly know when they were saying
well,
that.
I was going to say, I mean, did you have an idea of how groundbreaking what you were doing was, or was it just you trying I mean, what was the thought process there as you
Yeah.
were trying those things?
Yeah, probably probably at the time, especially when I started Thrival, which is our community and now training company for, firm owners 15 years ago, I didn't really know it was groundbreaking. But again, that creative side, owning your own company, I really felt the freedom to go, hey, I'm going to stop wearing a suit. I don't need a tie. And I started wearing t-shirts and jeans and flip-flops to work. I'm like, wait, like people are still paying me. I can actually do that, which was such a stark, hard turn from the firm I came from. So just I had a lot of freedom, to do a lot of things. And so I think I was just acting out a lot of, I don't have to do that. It was a lot of my belligerent side as an entrepreneur. It's like, don't tell me what to do.
Right.
The person who can't work for somebody. And so out of that came a lot of freedom. Now, that got me into some trouble too, because, you know, a lot of the freedom that we have as entrepreneurs gets us in trouble because we think we actually can do anything we want, and actually you cannot. Turns out you can't do that
Right.
exactly.
Right.
So I got in trouble, with some things, and my partner and I really kind of reordered the company. But now all of that is very structured. Now we do risk assessment. We take risks because you
Yeah.
have to, but we see what is the cost of that to us. So I'm still in my firm being pushed in directions to create new things. That's my job now, and it's a very ordered way that I work. At
Yeah.
first, it was very, um, get myself in trouble, kind of don't tell me what to do. Now it's a very ordered and structured way we do things. So
Hmm.
I still do it. I have a little bit more guardrails to not run the companies in the ditch again.
Less lessons learned, right? Yeah. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
exactly. Well, what do you see as the purpose behind your work, Jason? I mean, we know what you do, but why do you do it?
Yeah. Well, we've all read the books and follow your passion, and some books that say no, that's not actually true. When you read
Right.
like Cal Newport's book, has a book, so good they can't ignore you, is a book that really debunks that claim, follow your passion.
Hmm.
So the purpose you find over time, and so I found it, which is really moving people forward, is really taking people from this location and moving them to another location. And you find when you do complicated things, and we all go through hard things in our life, sometimes you do get stuck as a person. You really get stuck as an entrepreneur because it's all dumped on your shoulders. It's like
Yeah.
the world's like, good luck.
Right. Right.
Figure that out. And you got to go read some books or go to a community or you got to listen to this podcast. You got to go figure out how to find out what you're supposed to do next because you don't know. And I'm in that place as an entrepreneur, and now I know how to figure those things out. So, what we do is help other people figure that out.
Hmm.
Like people we run into firm owners all the time, especially when they get to a certain size, they do not know what to do next. They don't even know what the issue is.
Right.
So we sometimes we get into therapeutic counseling, but they're just like mentally layered up with a lot of issues, not only in their professional life but their personal life.
Yeah.
And we have to undo that, make it clear, and then go, okay, now what are you going to stop doing, and what's the thing you're going to lean into? And
Right.
now they can start picking and choosing things that move them forward. And that is really my life's work forever now.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, I love that the way you phrased it, moving people forward. And I imagine that
Hmm.
in a certain sense that applies not only to clients but to your team there as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're always, they're our team know they're in a firm that's always. It's we're not changing for change sakes, but we are always adjusting the firm structure in the size that it needs to be, and so it's always calling our team to come with us, come into this new structure. Like our team, we always read 2 or 3 books a year with our team. Our leadership team reads even more books than the
Hmm.
team. So we don't say, "Hey, let's just read a book this year." It's part of life here. So
Yeah.
moving and it doesn't mean everybody goes, "Yay, more books to read
Right.
at the my job." That's awesome. Uh, we're not even asking, "Do you want to?" We're like, "This is kind of what we do here. We change, grow, learn, move forward. We bump into ourselves and we bump into each other and
Yeah.
we learn a lot through that. So we kind of want to be, sometimes my partner will say she really wants to be in people's messes. That's where you really help people and change them when you're with them in the middle of their mess. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, everybody around us has to kind of come along with us on the journey.
That's I love that. Well, all of that said, I mean, what do you love most about being a CPA?
Yeah. Well, it's wild, and some people have asked me this because one of the things we sell is coaching and consulting.
Hmm.
That's probably a real extreme on the advisory side. And we've got proprietary methodologies that walk firms through 12, 18 months worth of consulting. We've developed methodologies to do it now. Um, and that's the work we love. And a lot of people have asked, even clients have said, where did the coaching come out of the CPA firm? There's a CPA firm that sells coaching services.
Hmm.
They're like, I just don't get how that hooks up. But I didn't either. I got a coach, 15 years ago, and I loved it. And then I just started selling it.
Hmm.
Um, and it turns out it is super valuable because we're with an entrepreneur dealing with their mess and they go, I just feel like fill in the blank. Well, we pull up their P&L and go, that's not true.
Right.
You're actually, this is the truth. The numbers say this. So, and they're like, oh man, I thought it was worse than that. It's like, no, it's actually good. So
Yeah.
you're good. So a lot of times it really does come into play. We're coaching people, and the number side just brings such a hard clarity to it. We can just pull up a P&L and go, I know how you feel, and that's real, but this is actually true. This is what happened last year. So now what are you going to do? And how are you going to deal with how you feel not matching the reality of what I'm seeing? So it brings a lot of value when you put those together. I didn't plan it that way.
Yeah.
It turns out that it really does fit really well.
No
So,
doubt. I mean,
yeah.
that's a I hadn't really thought about that before, but that's something
Hmm.
that, most consultants I don't think can say that, I mean, and when
Yeah.
you if you do what you do and love what you do in terms of helping people move forward, that
Mhm.
consulting combined with your background as an accountant, it
Totally.
just makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I think we know enough. You and I know enough to tell people, hey, if you want to own your own business, man, get an accounting degree. Right?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, you want to get the foundation, even if you're not going to run a firm. Man, go into accounting. It's just you learn the order and the foundation of how you display the truth about your company through numbers. Very helpful.
Well, that's that actually and that leads right into my next question. But it's, and I'm sure you have at points in your career, but if you were sitting down with a young person who's trying to figure out what they want to do,
Yeah.
where they want to go, what would you tell them about this profession?
Yeah. And well, we are talking, I'm in my mid 50s, and we're now talking to students. That's something we
Mhm.
want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm telling them go into accounting.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Not finance, not I'm saying go into accounting. That's the pure order of the financial world. Is that accounting is that economics, finance, all of that. I love that too, but accounting really is the science of the order of how clarity is displayed in numbers. And so
Mhm.
I think it's beneficial for anybody to have, you know
Yeah.
so if they did economics, finance, accounting should be a strong part of that, I would think.
Great stuff there from Jason Blumer. So glad he could take time out of his busy schedule to be with us this week. We want to hear from you as well. So if you would, please head on over to macpa.org/y and share your story with us as we try to offer a little bit of inspiration to the next generation of accounting and finance professionals. We want to hear what your CPA story is as well. Thanks as always for being here. We'll be back again next week. More stories to share then. Until then, have a great week, everyone. Take care.